Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Tonight we've got another match of the Zelda 2 Randomizer Max Rando Tournament 2025. We've got Swiss round 3 here. We've got Ellendar versus Sawneyrath. I'm sorry, joining me on comms tonight is Pleco. How are you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
Not too bad here. Looking forward to a good match. We've got two good runners here. We'll see how this is going to go. Anything particularly you'd like to look forward to? I know you're fairly new to the Randomizer, so...
I'm kind of hoping for a lot of chaos right now because I want to see how these runners go a little bit wacky. I mean, my first calm introduction to Z2 has been the first match of Max Rando, which was a one crystal seed. So I'm definitely looking forward to something a little bit more chaotic this time.
Yeah, for sure. As you can see here, I did check the starting items before we got going, and we do start with a raft and a flute, and we'll see about the other things here. So we'll see how it goes. Raft and flute, nice for overworld traversal.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting because I think so we're starting with, I believe, few
Yeah, we start with
spells.
a
So
fair few
that's
things. Yep.
up and down stab, dash and shields, 3 crystals, and 4 lives.
Yeah. Mild spoiler, I tend to tell people that once we get the full screenshot, but that it works. Yeah, we've got a moderately
Yeah.
generous start here, as we'll see in a second. Our chat commands are still slightly out of date because we did have a big charity marathon this past weekend for cancer. If you did miss that, please go check out the VODs. And yep, as we see here, 6 hearts, 4 lives, 3
Wow.
gems, raft, flute, an immediate islands DM, and a Dried Canyon West. Okay.
That's definitely something to start off with. So what are we looking at here?
Got a P3 or 6 right next to start.
It could be fun. We'll see what how much experience that Ellendar is going to get there. Ooh, a 200 immediately.
It's always nice here for some early levels.
Mm-hmm.
Menu much too fast for me to catch how much dash costs right now. And yes, we start with both up stab and down stab, so combat's going to be a little bit easier this seed. Don't have to worry about that. Don't have to go find it. I still don't know how much dash costs.
Ellendar not able to get more of those I want to call them dark nuts, but won't be getting more of those. That 50/50 is not playing too nicely, and looks like dash is 63.
Correct. In Z2, magic bar, each
Currently
magic
don't have
bar is
any.
16 health, is 16 magic points, so can just cast it at 4 magic containers, but it's also not a priority necessarily right now.
Seems like we don't have any game sound.
It's there, but very quiet on Ellendar's side. Going to switch to Sawneyrath since it's a little louder. You can control your own audio, by the way, Pleco. If you go to the commentary page in the...
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I'm so used to speed gaming.
Yeah, I get that. I'm fairly used to speed gaming system as well. For those who don't know, Pleco is coming over from this Zelda. At least I remember you from the Z1R side, so welcome to here.
Yeah, both C1 and SMB3. So I'm trying to become a new player, and I've got a lot to learn. But it's another Zelda game that I've never played and beaten vanilla, but I'm very much enjoying, and I'm really enjoying, especially on the randomizer side.
Oh, and we have both P3 and P6 here on the west because we just found the other one. In Z2R, we tell the palaces apart by the pillars at the front of the palace, except for palaces 3 and 6 look exactly identical, and there are no other distinguishing features. Palaces 1 and 4 also have the same pillars, but Palace 4 has a Fiery Moa in the entrance. Palace 1 is nothing there. Palaces 2 and 5 are distinguished by if you hit the statue at the front in P2, you get an item, and if you hit the statue in
Ooh.
P5, you get nothing.
Sonny, they're getting 2 combat levels and then a 500 P bag, which is excellent.
Pillar P-Bag Cave for Ellendar, and Reflect and Saria is a nice early find here, kind of out in the middle of the map. This here is what we call a Dry Canyon biome. We have both a river canyon, where we've got a river running down the middle of the map, and, you know, kind of strips of land down either side, or we have what's called a Dried Canyon, which is what we've got here, which is... the river's dried up, so you can just walk absolutely everywhere. You'll notice there's bridges just kind of sitting out in the middle of nowhere particular. That's because the river has dried up. So, got a free Kraus today. That was nice.
Yeah, not too bad. Got our Reflect as well.
Yep. Not necessarily required here, because it's only a 3-gemmer, but P4 is one of the more mid-sized palaces, so might be worth it to go to clear it out if we happen to find it.
Oh, exactly. Nothing wrong with that. Alright, what do we have here? Thunder.
Thunder and Meadow, which we may not necessarily need in Max Rando. It is a random as to whether or not T-Bird is required. T-Bird exists, but is not forced to be on the path to Darklink, as we find out that Guma sits on the Yeti Key.
Mm-hmm.
And got a small key in Trophy Cave, speaking of. But we are going to go get at least a hint for where the medicine is on Ellendar's side, because even if we don't necessarily need Thunder, it's good knowledge to have.
Oh, definitely. I didn't see what that was, but something about guarding the medicine, so I believe that's in a dungeon, correct?
Mm-hmm. Chat probably... Yeah, that's going to be in a palace. Chat probably caught which palace it was, because I missed it too. Helmet Head. So Helmet Head has our medicine... And, oh, we've got a Vanilla Shuffle East.
That was a very interesting, I want to call it a bridge, but it's really not a bridge, because it just goes right into the middle of the,
It was a bridge, but the way it, the reason why it looks like that is we find Fairy and Rando, so we're gonna just turn that trophy in immediately for, Sawneyrath here.
Oh, very nice.
But the reason why it looks like that is because that is vanilla shuffled, where most of the Z2R biomes, basically themes for the map rando, are fully randomized within a theme. Vanilla Shuffle takes the vanilla overworld map and shuffles just the landmarks. It shuffles the palaces, the cave entrances, the the towns with each other. So the general overworld layout is the same, but the individual landmarks have been shuffled around as you find a hammer. So our bridge to the east is located on one of those landmarks from the vanilla game.
Fun.
Now I need to go pull up the map to figure out which one. It is in fact, that is where Naburu is in the vanilla game, the town of Naburu. That's where we landed.
Oh, and that cave just to nowhere, unfortunately.
I did not catch where that cave went.
Yeah, just to, basically, it was an island of just crosses.
Got it.
Alright. I didn't catch what Ellendar is getting over here in this town.
I missed which town he's in. Reflect. That's the answer, because that's the spell hit.
Oh, that's
spell text we saw earlier. Sawneyrath is in here, trying to get some hints, not having much luck. We do already have the spell from here, so we don't need that from Sawneyrath's side.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and all the fun without having a light for these caves.
Yeah, we don't start with Candle and Miss Flag, except both runners are pretty experienced, so we don't need it, but it would be nice to have. Just not particularly urgent.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely taking quite a few spills, unfortunately, but getting that key hopefully will help a little bit. Yeah, there's that island again.
Yep, okay, I see what you mean now. Yes, as we find Palace P5 here on the west. So it is Palaces 3, 5, and 6 on the west.
Alright.
Kind of a mustardy yellow color here. Ellendar going to take a quick look in, might as well. It may not be required, but we do know there's an any key in here, and so if we can find it pretty quickly, that would be really nice.
Yeah, an any key would definitely be very nice, and depending on how quickly things are found, could even be one of the crystals, potentially. Ooh, and
Well, it is a gem, but it is the longest palace on average, so we'll see if it's worth digging this gem out of here. The chat commands are a little busted at the moment, but we are on a 3-gemmer today. Danger Mall. Lag Central on screen for the moment for Ellendar, although taking out the first Nago helped a bit.
Yeah, all sorts of fun with these throwers, and getting shot at. What more could you ask for? Sawney finding the Thunder Town. And Fairy Town on Ellendar's side.
Yep. Ellendar deciding to bail out a P5, which I think makes sense. Took a quick look and didn't find a whole lot he wanted to find, and with only being a 3-gemmer and a slightly annoying enemy set, yeah, it's not a big deal. He can go back there anytime he wants because it's a dried canyon west and they can walk absolutely anywhere on it, so no big deal.
Alright, now so pretty much outside of the hammer that was found, both runners pretty much even here.
Yeah, I don't expect it'll take the Sawneyrath too long to figure out where the hammer's at. He does find the east as well, and Ellendar has up 8 back to start. We'll see where he goes. Sawneyrath proving me wrong, he's gonna just go take a look at the east. Raft is in its vanilla location, which is kind of funny. It does not have to be, but it is today. Spell into Brew, which is just west of vanilla today, at what's called Secret 11. The map I tend to use.
Ooh,
and we're going to check some
tech.
hammer-blocked caves for Ellendar. That's a pass-through cave here, so we don't need that.
Yeah, nothing in particular that's looking too good right now.
Silver Sawneyrath here may not be required, but it is nice to pick up. It can lock an item, which could be, if for all we know, our glove, which is going to be the big thing we'd really like, or possibly the boots. The boots would be nice. It does lock one overworld. We know that Death Mountain is an islands biome, so if the glove is there, we would really like the boots, because getting around an islands DM without boots is not fun. Just the one up here for Ellendar is our final item on the west. But yeah, boots would be nice for the islands DM. Might be nice or on very rare occasions even hard required for the maze. Boots aren't terribly useful in a vanilla shuffled east because you can only walk on the vanilla tiles. And actually no, that is not a raft tile, that is a sneaky bridge tile hiding out on the raft tile for Sawneyrath. We are not getting through to the northern side of the map from here today because that is a hard... Because again, basically landmark shuffle is what it is, can get to some very funny looking stuff. Here's GP right next to the River Devil.
That's a good find, I think, early on to know where it is. That way, if it's if they actually manage to find everything, you know, easy peasy, jump right in.
Yeah, technically it is unlikely but possible as we find the maze. Speaking of, raft tile right next to the River Devil. And this is not a friendly looking maze island layout. Eek.
Yeah, what is that? That is just absolutely wild. Yeah, and definitely not the most fun enemies right away with those kind of weird dog-looking things.
There's Zora actually in this game.
Oh, those are ugly Zora. Oh gosh.
Ooh, first item for Sawneyrath. None of runners have found like any hints so far this seed. We know that medicine is in P2 and the ending key is in P5, and that's really about it for hints. As we find
another life up here. And track back into 5, I believe it was, for Ellendar.
Yeah, so correct, back into this kind of mustardy yellow palace. Yes, I'm sure if from Z2R, Palette Shuffle can produce some very fun colors. The first 3 palaces of a seed haven't been too bad. I don't think GP was awful either. But we can have some very neon colors sometimes. Yeah, it is technically possible, although highly unlikely, that we are actually... the game is presently beatable on this current equipment set. We may not need the glove, we may not need the thunder, and we have found GP and 3 regular palaces. It is technically possible, potentially possible, although unlikely, that this is everything we need to beat the game. Now, the runners, of course, are going to continue clearing, looking for other items and spells, because, again, not very likely we can beat the game, but it's not impossible.
They definitely want a better setup. You know, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something.
Certainly at least more levels also, because 3-4-3 and 4-3-2 are not excellent levels. P4 on the mazes, that's vanilla. Which means that palaces 1 and 2 are both also on the east.
And still no second item here for Sawney. So very interesting kind of vibe here in 5, heading directly up. Ooh, almost falling into the lava. So I believe the P bags are 500, 120. Sawney taking a bit of a spill there. Oh, be careful. Ellendar managing to get past that, the lobber there. Not heading into the lava. No ragu spill tonight.
Yeah, no lava bath there, at least not right now, although this room can be a little tricky.
It looks like most things are kind of, you know, just dipping themselves into the ragu without any help, so...
Magic 4 for Sawneyrath, which, as we find... Oh, hey, Guma for Ellendar. Not a bad find. No sign of the end key. He might poke 1 or 2 rooms focus head into, like, the room after the boss. Because in these flags, the palace can't continue after the boss. As the right item in the maze is a magic jar for Sawneyrath. I mean, he won't complain too hard about it. Not what he wanted, but not the worst.
No, definitely might still pay off. I mean, that's 6 containers. Ooh, Ellendar taking some serious damage there from Guma.
Sawneyrath is going to go back to the west and look for his last couple of items, because he is missing a couple. We know he doesn't have the hammer, and he's also missing a hammer-blocked cave, which turns out to be a 1-up, but he doesn't know that. Might just be going back to the east. That works too.
I'm watching the Guma fight, and it's just like, you know, he gets a little too aggressive with that flail, and
the safe strat where you basically glitch Gooma into the right side wall, or you keep Gooma on the far right side of the wall so his mace doesn't spawn, but it's also a slow strat. And but this is a tournament race. We can't be doing slow strats.
Yeah, there's no time for slow.
Sawneyrath gonna head back down south past the river devil here to see where the southern side of the east goes to.
And Gooma goes down.
A little annoying because you have to take the raft tile and take the raft tile back, because otherwise, because it's right in the middle and you are hard forced to take it to get to the southern side of the map.
And Ellendar choosing not to put the gem in there.
No, he's gonna go take a look at the next couple of rooms. He's only 32 points away from his next level, so you'd like to try and get that. Because placing a gem does refill your experience bar up to the next level, so... 30, especially in a 3-gemmer, you do want to be careful when you place your gems, because you're not going to get a lot of these free levels. Okay, there we go. Now he's going to get 700 points and change from it, so that's a lot better.
Oh, definitely.
Biggest level of all time? No, but 732 points is enough that he's going to just take it and run.
Yep, leaving there. Can't imagine that they're gonna go back for the any key at this point either. Like,
they've got fairy. It's not terribly expensive. I think it's like, yeah, 35, which isn't horrible.
Yeah,
it's castable twice on a life. They've got 4 lives. That's fine. Ellendar's just going to go clear palaces. He's going to go clear whichever one of 3 or 6 this is, and then go find the other. And the question is, chat commenting that someone in chat commenting they've never seen the dash spell before. This is it's been around in the randomizer for a good 3.5 years now. I think it was introduced in 4.0, which came out at the end of 2020. Yep. And this confirms this is P3, kind of in the middle of the West, which means that P6 is right by start. But yeah, Dash Spell's been around since 4.0, about 3.5 years since 4.0 released at the in late 2020. So P1 located for Sawneyrath.
Very nice takedown there.
But yeah, the Dash Spell went on, which is randomized in this flag set. Dash Spell replaces fire and just lets you run really fast across the screen. Sometimes too fast.
Alright, and that's the second crystal up for Ellendar.
Got a 2-0 gem lead, but that's not saying a whole lot, especially in Max Rando. That can change at any time. Especially because Sawneyrath is in P1, which is the smallest palace on average here.
Yeah, this can be very much subject to change. I have to say, the dash does look pretty hilarious.
Be very nice, but it's also a case of it's very easy to go way too fast and crash because you can't control where you're going.
Yeah, definitely not something you want to use and then fly into an area that will, send you for some kind of, either regular bath or lava bath or, anything in between.
It's not unusual to see runners run face first into something and die because of dash making them go far too fast. And Ellendar is now on the east for proper. He saw this earlier but didn't really explore, so this is Ellendar's first time on the east, really. As Sawneyrath still poking around in P1 here, no sign of the boss or of the item.
Yep, finding the Spell Town.
Deciding not to get it for right now. It is a bit of a time sink to go pick it up because you have to go get the fountain and then walk back. It's not fast. So it's there, he can go get it whenever he wants, but it's not particularly urgent, so not gonna bother right now. And yeah, I was gonna say, Sawneyrath, I'm pretty sure that's the dead-end version of this room, which it is, so minor time loss for him.
Yeah, unfortunate.
For context, there's two versions of this room. This is the vanilla version, which is a dead end, and then in 4.0, when they added community rooms, somebody, I forget who, added a pass-through version of that room, where the other side does connect, and the difference between the two is if you see two enemies standing on the stairs. So this time there is only one enemy on the stairs, standing on the stairs, and the flying enemy, so it was a dead-end version. And this, by the way, is an actual randomized tile in Vanilla Shuffled there for Ellendar on the coast. It's junk.
Yeah, but that is a check that that they were able to do that Sony was not able to do. As
not a
Sony
big deal,
finished up
luckily.
Horsehead.
And that brings it to a 2-1 score here in terms of gems. Ellendar finding GP.
Yep, and we'll shortly be finding that the maze. And off they go. And I believe now, outside of the fact that just noticed that Sony has 7 card containers. I think they're pretty much yeah, pretty much the same. Sony's just missing
that
one of the a single attack level. Also finding a child.
Yep, child of questionable use. We haven't seen Darunia. It is going to be either it's going to be either jump or life, neither of which are incredibly required. But hey, at least he has it. And as I say that, here that is with the life spell.
Yeah, and you're here with it, might as well just go grab it.
Thought about it, but no, he doesn't. Oh. Yeah, no, he's going for hints. Ellendar in P1, finding Horsehead here. Well, the first Horsehead, with the second Horsehead right behind him, block. Oh no, that's not Karok, of course, that's Karok, I'm losing track of things. Karok here, takes a Take a Death to be able to cast Life. There were 2 Horseheads in P1 back-to-back, which was kind of funny.
Yeah.
First the boss Horsehead, and then the mini-boss Horsehead locking the child. Now, in addition to 4.3 here, the current major version of the randomizer is that Karok is no longer quite so cheesable. You have to actually work for it a bit. Because as you can see, his beams are bouncy.
Well, that's no fun. He's smarter.
People got tired of Karok being an absolute pushover, so that's the result.
Honestly, fair enough. Notice Sony is in what I want to call the chocolate area, because it reminds me very much so of Mario World.
Oh, that's rude. We need 7 magic jars to get the item out of Nukasuda, which is the maximum you can require. That's just rude, game. Now he's probably hoping that,
they're not too far off that.
Well, he's probably hoping the 7th one is here in the spell tower, because I believe he does have the spell. Yep, he does, and it's castable at 50. Ellendar's beaten up Karok, which is his 3rd gem. He now is going to go see if he can't find the item. P4 is a mid-sized palace, but you're here, you might as well at least take a quick look in here. We know there's a not unreasonable chance of the glove being here. That's really the one thing we're looking for. We know we've gotten the items out of palaces 1, 2, and 5. We've seen everything on the west. What was that?
He now has the all of them now, and he's got 7, I think, now.
Oh, that's magic jar number 7. Very nice, yeah. For Sawneyrath. I was looking at Ellendar's screen, so missed it.
Yep, there it is. So now what do we see?
It is just heart container number 8.
Wow.
Womp womp.
Oh my goodness.
That's bad.
Still has now the most?
And Ellendar running face first into a glove block and
Oof.
is heading out of P4. Alright, that then. Yeah, looking at things, I think I managed to miss like 1 or 2 items on the east, because I'm not actually sure where Sawneyrath got all of his heart containers. I think one of them might have been on the desert tile. But we are running out of places for this, for the glove. We have palaces 3, maybe 4, although that might be hard glove blocked. I'm not entirely sure how much, if there were any other paths for Ellendar in there. 3, maybe 4. We haven't seen the item out of 6. We are missing both items on Death Mountain, but it's an island's DM and you don't have boots, so they really don't feel like going there right now. We can't get the water tile on the east, and we've seen both items out of New Kasudo, so we're running low on places for this glove to be at. Ellendar does have bleed in terms of gems, but Sawneyrath's got more overworld exploration done, which could be a key factor here if the glove is required.
Yeah.
Yeah, New Kasudo tile, not much use there for Sawneyrath. Sawneyrath is thinking about where to go next. Gonna grab this. See if it's a hint. Go west to find the hammer. Okay, yep. So that's good for Sawneyrath. He's gonna go beat P6 here, or at least take a look in it. Because Sawneyrath hasn't gotten the hammer yet, and we know it's on the west somewhere. I don't remember where. But it's free.
Well, it might as well. It gives you a little bit more freedom to check some of the spots.
Yeah, for Sawneyrath, this P6 decent play right next to start here, except for if he runs face first into a glove block, maybe less good of an idea. But it's right next to start. He does need 3 gems. He might as well take a look. And okay, decides never mind, he up-A's out of there and is going to go someplace else. Again, deciding no thank you to DM right now. Really not a particularly appealing play. It's slow, it's huge, and yeah, really would like a pair of boots. If they need to go to DM to find their glove or their boots to get the glove, that will be a hard last location. They really don't want to go there.
It's definitely a completely different setup. I'm thinking Ellendar might actually be heading to GP.
Not an unreasonable play here. It is 3153 GP entry. It is just a 3-gemmer, no glove, but you can at least take a quick look and see if you can get anywhere. Because it is a 3-gemmer. I mean, Ellendar, it's been past the half-hour mark. It's entirely... doesn't have thunder, might not need thunder. Doesn't have glove, might not need glove. It's at least, you know, it's pretty easy to get to, pretty easy to get out of, so... the worst of ideas to just see if you can get through here, because, hey, it could win you the game.
It's very true.
It is a little risky, as we see a waffle room there for Ellendar, into that room is unreachable, so never mind, looks like we need a glove. But hey, at least he tried. Thankfully, for him, at least the glove block was early, so he didn't spend too long in there, but whoopity-doo,
it's not a huge waste of time. It's more of a gentle one.
He's going to continue exploring here, as we do get the any key out of P5 for Sawneyrath, which could be nice. Again, not a huge deal.
We found
but
the any
why
key
not?
on the Sony side.
Yep. Again, not necessarily a huge deal, but nice to have here.
Mm-hmm.
We do have plenty of magic, and fairy isn't terribly awful expensive, so not the biggest deal, but hey, it does save a little bit of time. Oh, apparently screen went blank briefly for chat, but it's fixed now. Good.
Excellent.
And confirming that was a heart container on Desert Tile. I actually don't remember. I still don't remember where Sawneyrath found his 4th heart container. I know Desert Tile was one. Nukasudo was one. I think either one of the 2 P-back caves was on the east was the other.
I believe so. It was something, yeah.
So I'm really not sure where the last one was, but not a big deal either way. Just me kind of trying to keep track of, okay, what have we seen, where could our items be? Looking for Guma here in P5. The issue is this is the largest palace on average that's not GP. Found the item relatively early, but that unfortunately means the boss could be anywhere in the rest of the palace.
If I remember correctly, though, it didn't take Ellendar too long to get to him. Like, it's shortly after this area, I think.
And that was a P-bag for Ellendar there in Sunken P-bag Cave. To win the game, do the runners still have to kill all the bosses? No, not in this case, Faith. It is random between 0 and 6 gems as to how many you need. Today we have a 3-gemmer, so... Ellendar's already beaten his 3 bosses. The problem is, he took a look in GP. It's hard glove locked. We need a glove. From our perspective, we haven't seen the items out of P4, P3, or Palaces 3, 4, or 6. We think P4 might be glove blocked. We don't know about Palaces 3 or 6. We haven't seen either item in Death Mountain, although unfortunately the place is an Islands DM and we don't have boots, so that's kind of low on the priority list. I believe we've seen all 3 overworld items. I think we've seen all overworld items on the east that are accessible besides from the water tile, because I think we've seen both P-back caves and the desert tile. And we found palaces 1 and 2. We haven't seen P2, but that's the medicine, which we don't necessarily want to find either. So, Palace 3, Palace 6, or go look in DM, I think, are our options. And, none of them perhaps the most appealing here. Islands, although I think both runners will probably look in Palaces 3 and 6 before they go DM. Because Islands DM can be one heck of a slog without boots.
Oh, and another tile found, and it's just a P-bag.
And yeah, we are missing Thunder. That is locked behind the medicine in P2, which is somewhere probably boots locked on the east, I think, at this point. But not prop of the priority list necessarily, because T-Bird is not hard required in these flags. T-Bird does exist, but it is not forced to be on the path to Darkling. Ooh, and Sawneyrath gets whacked by Guma. But yeah, I think we've seen everything on the southern side of the southern 2/3 of the east that's accessible without boots, basically. Because it's vanilla shuffled where all the landmarks have gotten shuffled around, we don't necessarily have a cave leading to the far northern side of the east, so it's likely hard boots locked. And I think P2 is probably hiding out somewhere up there, or on the way out on the Island Palace vanilla location. But we'll see. Ellendar is into P1 here, which is a reasonable play for him. He doesn't know that it's just a child in here, and it's the smallest palace. He might as well go clear it. good for Sawneyrath, some time back for him, because Ellendar is going to spend a few minutes in here. This was moderately long for a P1. And Ellendar is not going to get much out of it. This child just unlocks the life spell, which is... it's kind of whichever. They're life 7, life 6, 7 hearts and 8 hearts. They've got 4 lives. Life spell, really not required.
Yeah, and especially too when they have the shield, it's definitely not much of a worry.
Yeah. Okay, there we go for Guma for Sawneyrath.
Yep, finally getting that 5 attack. And now I think just missing one crystal now to finish this off. Meanwhile, Horsehead finished up by Ellendar, but will not be able to continue on. Does not have a key, does not have enough mana for the fairy. So up A they go.
Yeah, which is a little unfortunate because we know that the item is right behind that boss Horsehead, but well. Sawneyrath has gone into P3, which makes perfect sense. It's right near... It's on the west, which is completely free. Extremely free Rebo with downstab and attack 5.
Very quick.
And that's going to be gem number 3 for Sawneyrath.
Yep,
he's likely going to stick around for the item here, which we don't know what it is. We haven't seen the items in Night of 3 or 6. And I believe from my notes, our remaining item checks between the two runners are 3, 6, and DM, and DM is a last location. Guaranteed.
I can definitely tell that Ellendar really wants something good to be here.
Mm-hmm. For him, he hasn't... Yeah, he's, let's see, he's seen, I think he's seen every item on the west, he's cleared out the east decently, he hasn't seen the item out of 3, but or 4, but he did clear 5, and he knows it's just a Yeti key in there.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows that he's basically out of overworld item spots, so it's gotta be palaces, and P1 might as well clear it, it's the smallest of the palaces. Yeah, gotta go somewhere, basically.
Mm-hmm. Taking the spill so that they can ferry over, and then hopefully ferry again to get past that door and go find that child. Which is definitely not going to be the most interesting thing to find, but...
Ellendar is deliberately taking a very, very, very slow path to refill his magic for the next room.
Oh my goodness.
This is a bit of a feels bad, did not get a Yeti key out of 5, and does get to do this really, really slow death, but there we go. If it works, it works. Beats coming back here at any rate.
Oh, exactly.
To note, Sawneyrath has not yet been in GP with 3 gems, but he is assuming correctly that the odds of it not being glove-locked are incredibly low. There's just way too many possible glove-locked rooms in GP.
Oh, I'm very curious to see what's found over here.
Ellendar upping back to start. I expect this is... Ooh, Ellendar actually, never mind. I was gonna say he might be going to 3 or 6, but he is actually gonna take a look in DM, see how far he can get. Which, we'll see. The answer might be not far at all. He could get somewhere. We have no idea.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. This could be a really good gamble. But so far...
It'll be mostly connector caves, and more connector caves. The challenge is trying to take the right, hoping to take the right connector cave. There's a little bit of geography involved, as you can kind of see where a cave is leading to, because caves are logical. Outside of vanilla shuffled maps, they do lead in the direction they point. And here is, in fact, Hammer Cave, as boots for Sawneyrath.
Yeah, that's definitely a change that's going to help out Sawney if they head over to Death Mountain.
Yep. That also opens up the rest of the west for him. Or not the west, the east. The west is completely open, that's not a problem. And you did see the water tile earlier. I believe it's somewhere in... pretty sure it's in the Valley of Death. So that is an option for a place to check out. And just a candle in Hammer Cave is kind of a womp-womp.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to see. But at least does have a little bit of vision now. And also for chat, the boots allow you to walk on these water tiles. Not all of them. But
it's all of them on every map that's not vanilla shuffled, which lets you only walk on the tiles that you can walk on in vanilla. In other biomes, like DM, you can walk on any water anywhere. Just a P-bag cave there, which is a bit of a womp for Sawneyrath. Okay, so we haven't seen that yet. I thought we had, but apparently not. Yeah, Resin P-bag cave and Sunken P-bag cave were both heart containers. Sawneyrath not for exploring further of the northern side, which he doesn't really need to. He knows Water Tile is down in the Valley of Death, which I'm thinking is where he's going next, and he knows he's found all his palaces, so... No real reason for Sawneyrath to continue exploring the northern side of the east, so he's not going to bother. Ellendar is still exploring DM here. He's getting a little railroaded, which is the average for this place, so what's new?
This could be something positive here for Ellendar. Be very interesting to see if the glove shows up.
Yeah, it has to be, I think, either P6 or Spec Rock at this point, and or the water tile correction. And we're about to find out if it's the water tile for Sawneyrath once he gets up here. Because it's a 1 in 3 chance from our perspective, and it is! Let's go with Sawneyrath!
Yeah, so this is... Oh gosh, so yeah, this is unfortunately a boots-locked glove.
Hard boots
and that was
locked
in 3? 3 was holding it, or was it 6 that was holding it?
3 was holding it, Ellendar's in 6.
Oh, shoot.
That is
that's a very well, actually, finding that should bring them over. So hopefully they'll head back to 3 and actually go get the boots.
Yeah, we hope so, because otherwise,
Yeah.
But Sawneyrath is going to have basically the lead into GP. Ellendar was in here about 15 minutes ago, but got glove locked in like 5 rooms, so they really didn't see much. Then basically it's Sawneyrath currently has the lead into GP. He's at 567, the same as Ellendar. Very similar inventories.
Very similar levels as well. Well, the same levels, I should say.
There's boots for Ellendar. The big thing is Ellendar does not have the any key. It may not matter. Yes. They both know where the medicine is. It's in P2. And that is over on the east here, so they can go pick it up whenever they'd like. Not particularly urgent. Oh hey, the glove the glove key block room here for Sawneyrath, which is funny.
Oh gosh.
That room is a community room designed by a community member where you have to have a key. Be that the small key or the any key, you have to have it. Hey Vix, bot's a bit broken at the moment, it's a 3-gemmer. Yes, effectively. The only thing blocking Sawneyrath is if Dark Link is T-Bird blocked, and as we just saw the P2 for Ellendar there, he knows where P2 is, he knows that it has the medicine. If he gets T-Bird blocked, he's going to go pick it up and get out of there. And then get out of that and come right back.
Yeah, which definitely could, in theory, help out for Ellendar, but then it also means that Ellendar will have to also get it too, so may not be a benefit in the long run.
It only potentially matters if Ellendar decides to get the medicine from P2 while he's up here, which I doubt he will, given that it's quite the time sink. P2 can be very large. But the thing about Ellendar, I'm not sure if he actually walked down the Valley of Death far enough to see the water tile, because that's what he's looking for right now.
I thought he did, but he might not be remembering. Because he walked down, had to go into the area, looked up, realized he needs to go down for the town. So I think it's been seen, it's just that it's not remembered.
Possible as well, yeah. He's gonna take this connector cave, see where it goes to. Who knows? I haven't been keeping track of the things.
I never remember them.
Upstab lock room for Sawneyrath. This one is designed to get around to avoid the upstab skip, yeah, it kind of doesn't matter. They start with both upstab and downstab.
Yeah. Oh, and there it is. It's now seen, so it's a matter of just getting there.
Unfortunately, Ellendar is on the wrong side of a mountain for it. Old Castudo here, they started with a shield spell from it, and Ellendar knows that. Chicken Knight's giving Sawneyrath a bit of the what for as usual here in GP. Chickens are basically the kind of like the wizards, more or less, of Z2 of Lecco. They hit like a truck.
I look at them and I just kind of go like, this is why, deep fried chicken is bad for you. They are showing that. Ha! Oh, and
didn't to nowhere for Ellendar.
Yeah, oh, that is a painful look. That hope of like, okay, can I make it this way? Is this the proper way? But no.
Nope, the way there is to go the other way. It might honestly be faster to up A at this point for Ellendar, as Sawneyrath just found T-Bird.
Maybe.
I think it might be faster for Ellendar to up A because then take the connector chain back to around, because he has to go the other way around the east to get to the water tile. Thunder is in Darunia, Vix. Sorry, not Darunia. Thunder is in Mito, and Medicine is in P2, which is hard glove blocked. Sawneyrath knows where P2 is. He is just not gonna bother. He just didn't bother looking for it at the time because, well, they might not need Thunder. If T-Bird is hard required, it will be a hard last location.
I don't think Ellendar found 2 though. I think they just
No, he did, because it's up by the Risen P-Back cave up there at the Vanilla Bridge location.
Okay.
Hard boots block. Ellendar, we're entering GP briefly there just to reset the encounters basically, so after he goes to the water tile. which will get him his glove, and then he will follow Sawneyrath into GP.
Yeah, still a chance
Sawneyrath
to
got into
catch up.
GP at about 47.40, I want to say. 47.40, 47.45, maybe thereabouts.
I believe so, yeah.
So Sawneyrath's gonna probably have about a like 7 to 8 minute lead into GP for all functional purposes. Ellendar saw like the first 5 rooms and got glove locked out basically immediately, so Sawneyrath's basically got the entirety of his GP exploration up on Ellendar right now.
There's still a chance that there can still be a catch up. I mean, you never know with Rando, especially like if certain rooms are taken first, skipping over certain things.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
Giant slime showcasing that it can clip and we can't.
Oh yeah, they're called King Vods, and they love to ambush you. I don't remember if we've seen one yet, but they love to ambush.
We had a couple, I think, but not ones that have really tried to hurt anybody. It's just they're just kind of there.
Got a different, I think we've seen all 3 waffle room variants this seed so far. We've got the 3rd version, we've got the regular one, which is just waffles kind of in this geometric block pattern. We have the emoji room, you'll know, if you see it, you'll know exactly which one I'm talking about. We've seen at least one of those in this palace as Lag Central, with 2 chicken knights and a spicy chicken, all in the same room, but there we go. And then we've also seen this waffles and syrup.
Not good for you. Really need to lay off that the spicy chicken.
Yeah, okay, 54-49, so about 7-minute difference about approximately entering GP. There's the Kingbot ambush for Sawneyrath, speaking of.
Yeah, Ellendar setting up just in case. You never know when you're gonna fall in. Keeping that fairy aside. Seeing the key and walking away.
That's the room straight left of first room on the left of start, so he's gonna go right instead. Or not. Never mind.
Oh.
Well, maybe I'm just getting lost anyway. Yeah, nope, I just got lost. Never mind.
I don't think this side was seen by Sawny.
I don't think so either. I think he's been mostly going to the right.
So that could be very interesting.
The general meta in this rando is to go right whenever possible, because bosses can only ever be to the right, they cannot, at least currently, be to the left. Well, they can be to the right, to the up on an up elevator, or on a down elevator. They cannot be to the left, so general meta is to go right, but if you think you're behind, which Ellendar might, since he functionally entered GP at 54 minutes on a 3-gemmer, yeah.
It's definitely not a horrible idea, and so far, I mean, finding new rooms could be really good.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, looking for that magic. We'll find it.
And is going to go wee with dash. And ooh, straight into a dead end for Sawneyrath. That is an up A for him. And Ellendar is out.
Leaving, yeah.
I was thinking that I don't know if we're hard key blocked out of here, but there weren't really any key drops in this seed, so if so I don't know if so it might be a little tricky for Ellendar to go find one. I know that the key block Sawneyrath found from going from left to right was I think it was pretty early in the palace, so but we'll see here.
Definitely wild to see them just like zoom across the map.
Yeah, no, key block I think might have been just a loop, because I think they might have seen both ends of it. And Sawneyrath is down this path, which I think this is where Ellendar was a minute ago, heading up and left
Yes.
from start. Or no, that's a different room. Okay. That's a dead-end drop room is where that goes to. Drop destination room, so...
And I believe that's kind of where they kind of left.
Yeah, so that is going to be... Sawneyrath is included, and I think he might be correct, although my sense of direction is absolutely horrible, so don't take my word 100%. I think you might be T-Bird blocked out of GP.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure myself, so I'm not going to say much.
But at any rate, Sawneyrath thinks it's T-Bird blocked at least, so out he goes.
Yeah, so we might see something completely different on Ellendar's side, depending on what's found. This could be very, very interesting with how this is going.
Yep. Sub-Arrow officially dead, which is unusual for a 3-gemmer, but this seed really making them work for that glove and now for this Thunder Spell.
Oh, and I love it. See, I asked for for a little bit more chaos, and I think we're getting that.
Medicine pretty free in P2 there. Sawneyrath only saw like less than 10 rooms, I'm pretty sure, so very quick.
Yeah, it was almost instantaneous. Like there was just barely any palace there, and Ellendar having a little bit of trouble jumping up, unfortunately.
This S-shaped upstab block room there getting Ellendar a little bit, but gets through.
Mm-hmm. Good old spicy chickens. Yeah, this from being relatively free. I'm trying to think what we've already seen so far from Sonny's side.
I'm pretty sure he's about to find GP right now. Not GP, T-Bird, right? He's in GP. I think he's about to find T-Bird.
I think this was seen by... Oh no! The fairy just, like, demolished, unfortunately, by the exploding slime.
Yeah. And that's Thunder picked up for Sawneyrath, who is definitely in go mode now, and he's going back to GP.
So I think that's... I think you're right, because I didn't notice this room before, but it does look like T-Bird was found on Ellendar's side, and I believe Sawney knows where it is, too.
Yeah, he saw that room. That's how I knew that's where T-Bird was.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Ellendar's seen enough of GP just yet, but yeah, I do believe that that is hard T-Bird blocked Darkling.
Yeah, so far that's definitely what it looks like. They've seen substantially more, and Ellendar is going to see the same. These smiley faces, unfortunately, being defaced. So I'm trying to think what Ellendar hasn't seen so far. You know, they're not making the choice to leave and go and grab medicine. They're trying to still look around in hopes that they're going to find Darkling.
sure either, to be honest, as Sawneyrath just currently making his way back to T-Bird because it is a little ways in. Now, GP's length itself is random. We can have short GP, which I think the maximum is 42 rooms, or we can get the full-length GP, which can go well up closer to 60 rooms. And this feels like it might be a little bit on the longer side.
Yeah, all sorts of fun.
A decent amount of rooms between our runners, although we've also found a decent-sized loop, so it might not be as much as it feels like.
I was about to say, I was like, I don't remember if Sonny's seen this on Ellendar's side, but now I'm starting to see things I recognize. I'm like, oh, yeah, nope, definitely seen this already. So more and more, it definitely seems like Sonny has made the correct play, and you know, we could see a finish shortly.
Because we have seen enough of GP
shortly, but.
We've seen enough of GP that there's a non-zero chance Darklink is right here, I think. Although I haven't been counting exactly how many unique rooms we've seen, that's a little tricky to do.
And a quick little magic reset there on Sonny's side. And we got our favorite Thunderbird. And honestly, with this much health, this much, you know, damage, Thunderbird going down super duper fast.
Yeah, this is not going to be a major issue here.
No, no, barely taking any damage. I want to say nice and easy. I also don't want to curse them, but at the same time, maybe that's okay. We are commentators, so it's okay if we curse.
Comments is very much a thing in G2, just as is in any other game.
Definitely a good grab for that that magic. Heavily needed here.
That's for sure. And I said I wouldn't be surprised if Darklink is right here, but I'm also not surprised Darklink isn't right there, because I do have a decent number of rooms still possible for in the palace.
Ooh, and a game over on Ellendar's side.
That hurts a bit. That might be what I said. We've seen very few game overs this seed, because with the amount of hearts they had and the fairly friendly overworld, plus all the lives and hearts, they haven't really needed to. They haven't taken a lot of game overs. It's some seeds can drag on quite a bit just because the combat is so tough that they just can't get anywhere, but this seed is not that. This seed is just the go everywhere if I look for your glove seed.
Yep, and there he is.
Yep, there is Darklink here for Sawneyrath, who's gonna be, unless things go absolutely disastrously, which I would be very surprised by, this should be a win for him. Which will bring him, because yeah, this was, I don't think we ever mentioned these runner Swiss scores. Whoops, this is a 1-1 matchup, so that brings Sawneyrath to 2-1 in Swiss. GG's.
Oh wow, GG's. Yeah, very nice. Official race time, 1 hour, 7 minutes, 10 seconds.
GG's, and Ellendar understandably has promptly thrown in the towel. We'll see if they want to both join for an interview. Which they do, so we are now joined by both runners, Sawneyrath and Ellendar. GG.
Hey, GG. That's a fun one. That was a lot of fun, except for potentially last locationing boots. The only thing I hadn't really done was going to P4.
I went into P4.
And DM, yeah.
I did. So the spec rock was boots blocked. I didn't find the item in 4, but it was one of my palaces. But P6 was glove blocked. And yeah, I last locationed glove as well. So, and then I didn't bother going to get thunder. Like I had the hint, but just like I was just taking every left. Like I've got to be behind at this point. And then I died deep into GP, and I was like, do I go get thunder? Do I make that gamble? And I'm like, nah, I have like at least one more left I can check. And then you got done, and I'm like, okay, thank God.
Yeah, so thunder was needed because
I was dead anyway. Yeah.
As soon as I realized it was behind T-Bird, I went, "Ah, great."
Yeah, you must have been a GP quite a bit before me then.
So you were, yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Sonny.
I didn't check my time going into GP. That was all I was gonna say.
Yeah, okay, I did a little bit of exploring without the glove, but then I'm like, no, this is dumb.
Yeah, no, your first entry, you were actually technically first into GP, Ellendar, at about 37 minutes and change. But yeah, you got like 5 rooms in, found yourself glove blocked and left, because you were the first to 3 gems. I think you did what?
Yeah.
What, 145 or something? No.
Yeah. I did one, I did 3, 4, and 5, and then I went back and did one later looking for the item.
Right, okay, yeah, that's what it was. So you were first to 3 gems, but Sawneyrath had done more overworld exploration, so you technically got your head in GP first.
But yeah, but you had to do all that overworld exploration, so...
Yeah, but since you got like 5 rooms in and got glove blocked immediately for all practical purposes, Sawneyrath was... Sonny got there about 47-minute mark, so...
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, like, if Thunder was required, I was just... There was no way I was going to win that race, so...
And then you re-entered GP around 54 minutes, so Sonny had a decent lead on you, basically, on that.
Yeah. Because I had the hint for 2, but I just did 3 palaces that I found sort of on the way before I found 2.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I was like, I really don't want to dig into just to try and look for a thunder spell that's probably not required. Whereas like I was definitely more willing to go into some of the other palaces for trying to look for glove. But yeah, I felt good about how quickly I was clearing palaces. Like dash was pretty reasonable. There was good experience. Like I got double levels in a bunch of places. And then yeah, just not having glove, and then GP obviously being thunder blocked. Like I was apparently screwed the whole time.
I mean, it's a 50-50 on whether or not you need it, and this time it rolled that side that you needed it, which it sucks because the medicine in 2 was actually relatively quick to find.
Oh.
Yeah, you found it like 5 rooms in or something. It was like it was at like the top of like the first elevator or something. Yeah, the problem was getting the boost to get there.
Go to the left, get to the first elevator, go up, and you're at the medicine.
Well, the boots weren't even that hard to get. Like, you just had to go left at the start. But, like, at the time that I did P3, it was so early and I had so much exploration left to do that I'm like, I don't really want to go back in here just to dig more rooms, just to try and find the item.
Mm.
And that was unfortunate. Like, I don't think the thing I did was wrong. It just sucked.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Sonia, you saved a little time as well by you saw P2, you got the Risen P bag cave that was right there, and then you never checked the rest of the northern side on the east, which was a time save. Because I think at that point you'd seen all overworld items on the east, you'd seen your palaces, you'd seen your towns, you had no need for the rest of it, and Ellendar ended up down a bit of a rabbit hole.
Yeah, so once I had found Risen, which was the last item location that I needed on the east, I was like, all right, it's either I go grab Thunder or I go into GP, and considering that it's 40 some odd minutes into the seed, I'm going into GP. I'm going to see if I don't need Thunder, which unfortunately we did. So I should have done 2 first. And then gone from there.
Mm-hmm.
At least it was a fun one.
Oh, it absolutely was a fun one. Like,
Had
Red
some
Dire is
disaster see this tournament, yeah.
Yeah. Red Dire is at 200, 500 point bags in the small enemy pool that were relatively common, 300s in the large enemy pool. We had some good EXP.
Sure. Yeah, I was 5, 6, 7 on a 3-gemmer, so.
Yeah, I was 5, 6, 7 as well.
Yeah, you guys both had a decent amount of levels, so that wasn't an issue this seed.
Although I had trouble with Guma and then just proceeded to pull out a 5-banger on T-Bird, and I'm just like, yep, it's one of those days.
I did the traditional thing where you try to be aggressive on Guma because you've got shield and a decent amount of life and die a couple times, and then be like, screw this, I'm going to do it safe, and then don't get hit. It was just like, why did I do that to begin with? Because I did 5 first because I had the hint the any key was there, and I was like, well, very super expensive. I could use an any key. And I never ended up finding the any key, but Guma wasn't too far in, and attack 3 wasn't terrible, so it wasn't that bad.
If I remember right, it wasn't too terribly far past Guma.
Yeah, I don't think it was a terrible dig of P5, honestly, for you, although P5 can be quite the monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went like a few more rooms after Guma, just like waiting until my dash ran out, and then was like, forget this. I'm not going through all P5.
Mm-hmm.
What a seed, though. That was a really good one.
Yeah,
it's a fun one to watch. We were like, ooh, 3-gemmer, decent amount of starting stuff, could be fast, and then turn into a little bit of a dig for that boots and glove at the end, but that's how Rando goes.
Mm-hmm. Rando's gonna Rando.
GG's here. Do you both any last questions, Pleco?
None from me. No, I enjoyed myself. Thank you guys for the excellent show, and good luck in future matches.
Yeah, thanks for getting this on the air. Appreciate comms and trackers and Star.
Yes,
always a pleasure.
Thank you all very much for getting this restreamed. To be honest, I didn't think it was going to be restreamed, and then when we were 30 minutes out, and it was like, oh, hey, we got a restream. I'm like, okay, I need to get set up as quickly as possible.
Well, it's always a pleasure. GG's to you both. I'm sure we'll see you around both in the commentary booth and on the racing side here. You're going to 2-1 now, Sawneyrath, and 1-2 for you, Ellendar. But of course, it's all for seeding, so good luck in future matches here, and we'll see you around.
Thank you very much.
So please do give both our runners a follow, Ellendar and Sawneyrath. Thank you to Pleco for joining me on the commentary. I do need to update the bot. And thanks to Tomotalk for doing the tracking tonight. Coming up ahead on the ZSR schedule, which that schedule is a little borked at the moment, or we need to fix the bot. Here's our schedule. Coming up on the ZSR schedule, we have tomorrow a collection of Grand Finals and Losers Finals for the Winter Randomizer Mini Blitz tournament and the Skyward Sword Randomizer Season 3 tournament here, as well as some Breath of the Wild Anywhere set matches. The next Z2R match currently on the schedule is on Thursday at 10 a.m. between TH and Top Life, so keep an eye out for that and for other matches throughout the week. But for now, that's going to be it here for us tonight. We're going to go over and raid Lat Mackey, who is playing a Zelda 2 hack called Not for Beginners, apparently. So we'll see how that's going for them. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a good night.
Take care.